All right, howdy everyone. We're going to do an example of calculating f prime using the definition of the derivative. And the function we'll be looking at is 1 over x squared. And remember, f prime, the definition is f prime at x is the limit as h goes to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. All right, let's start in on the example. Remember, the function we're looking at is 1 over x squared. And remember, the definition of f prime is this limit as h goes to 0 here. So we just have to plug in our function here. The function is 1 over x squared. So we get the limit as h goes to 0, 1 over x plus h squared minus 1 over x squared all over h. Don't forget the parentheses here. They're important because the square has to hit everything inside the parentheses. All right, so we have fractions, so it's very natural to get common denominators. So you can multiply the first one by x squared over x squared, and you'll get x squared in the numerator. And the second one you'll multiply by x plus h, quantity squared, so you'll over x plus h quantity squared. So you'll get that in the numerator, and an x squared, x plus h squared in the denominator. And don't forget this whole thing was divided by h. All right, so this limit as h goes to 0, h times x squared times x plus h squared all over x squared. And then I'm going to expand out that x plus h squared. So that's x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. All right. And again, the parentheses there are important because that minus sign hits everyone in these parentheses here. But in any case, you see that the x squareds will cancel. All right. So now we have the limit as h goes to 0, and we'll have a minus 2xh minus an h squared all over h, x squared, x plus h squared. And we can factor out an h on the top, so let's do that. So it'll be an h times a minus 2x minus an h all over h, x squared, x plus h squared. At this point, the h's cancel, and that's good news. So we have the limit as h goes to 0 of minus 2x minus h all over x squared times x plus h squared. And this is now at a point where we can just eyeball the answer. Since h is going to 0, I mean that term is going to go to 0. This term will be converging to 0 as well. And so you can see the answer will be minus 2x on the top. That's the only part that survives. And you'll have an x squared times an x squared. All right, so that's an x to the 4th on the bottom. But you can, of course, cancel one of those x's to get minus 2 all over x cubed. And that's the answer. All right, ciao.